It's Shannon.
Hello, and nothing to do with Shannon Live.
It's Shannon.
Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
The work is for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hi, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. So, how's everybody? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I'm feeling great.
Well, we're back tonight. I apologize. Last week I was so sick. I couldn't even think straight or whatever. So I'm
we're glad you're feeling better.
I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
ready to
glad you're
talk
better.
tonight. I'm ready to talk. We got a lot to talk about. Dr. Vanessa is going to tell us about our insurance policies that we can use to build wealth. But before we get into that, we want to do our hot topics, and we want to start with. I want you to tell me how you feel about somebody crashing. If it was your wedding, how you would feel if someone crashed your wedding. Now, the setup is
they're gonna die.
I went to a wedding on Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
I went to a wedding on Saturday, right? So now the parents are invited, but the children are not invited. But they're grown kids, they're not invited, right? But the kids, three, shows up at the wedding, comes into the cocktail hour, and they're eating and going on and stuff like that. But at first I didn't notice because when they were sitting down eating, they was rushing, and then the waiter comes over and say, "Oh, it's time to go in the reception hall." And I said, "Okay, well, pick up the plate and just take it with you, because you can take your food and drink when you get ready to go into the reception room and stuff like that." "Oh, no, just let them eat here." So the man finally told them they had to leave, right? So now I look up later. So I turn around and I see them in the reception room where all the people are sitting in the reception. So now the mother comes over to my table and she's just standing there. So then they're asking like, "Oh, why are you standing there? Do you belong at this table?" She was like, No, I'm just standing here, looking, But come to find out, she had gotten up out of her seat, gave one of them her seat, and then the other two were sitting in somebody else's seat, which was the pastor and his wife. They hadn't arrived yet. So now when the pastor and his wife arrived, they don't have a seat. So the coordinator trying to figure out well, how come they don't have a seat? Because she know how she put everybody down and everything. So not to just make a seat or anything. She just got two more chairs and put them at another table or whatever, And so I'm saying, oh no, she didn't have her children to come to this reception when they know the invitation was only for two. I dare you bring your kids in like that. 3, not 1, 3.
That's a disgrace.
So question, because maybe I'm confused, right? So these aren't the bride's kids; they are the kids of a guest.
They're cousins. They're not her cousins. They're not her cousins. But these are the
they're kids of a guest.
They're kids of a guest.
They came. The mother and father was there as guests.
Oh, and the
invitation is only for 2 because you only can invite so many people because you're not.
So the whole family gotta go.
So you had the kids to meet you there. So
they don't want the whole family
had to tell the kids.
No, the whole family gotta go. Listen, did the mother and father say anything to the children? Why are y'all here?
The family told them. The mother told them, "Come on, let's eat."
Oh, so then they all have to go.
No, but the mother and father was invited. The kids are grown.
They knew enough that they didn't belong there, those 3 kids.
The mama said, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah.
Anyway,
we had to tell them to come because how would they know to be there?
But you know what? The kids, this is disgraceful. This is disgraceful. Everybody knows with weddings is accounted for. There's a table setting. That is why they do invitations. That is why they ask 1 per guest. They knew. Those grown, they weren't children. They were grown adults mooching.
Right. So I think what they should have done, they should have been checked in the hall before they entered. If they're not on the list, in what cases they should not have been able to enter even to have cocktail hour.
That is correct. Most weddings they have when you come in, you pick up your card.
Right.
Yeah, but the cocktail hour is kind of loose. You know when they say, "Oh, you just go into the room
that's
for
right.
the cocktail." You can just
that's right. It is. It
Don't
is.
nobody know where you coming from. Really,
that's
only when you go in the reception. No. When you go in the main reception. That's
where you pick up the card to go sit at your table.
Checking.
Yeah, you look at the chart, you see where your table is, where your name is, and then you go to your seat and sit down. Because normally
now, see, this is where the coordinator didn't do their job. You have to you have to remember that people are going to try to do this. That is why cocktail hour. Okay, we got a moocher or so, fine. But when it comes to going inside the ball, in order for you to get in, show me your card with your name on it. So that's your seat over there.
No.
And those three moochers wouldn't have made it.
See, they don't do the card anymore. They don't do
Why not?
No, they make the card that hangs up on the thing, and then you go there and your name is printed. You know, it's nice now. They put it on the chart. All you have to do is look at the chart, look at your name, and it tells you what table you at. So if your name not on the chart, but the people didn't come in as soon as we come in. They didn't come in as soon as everybody came in.
But if your name is not on a chart, how do you determine which table you're going to sit at?
Because the parent told them where to come sit.
This is like those famous like this some comedian used to say, I wish they would.
Girl, listen.
When I got there, I would have been like, get out of my seat.
Hi, this is my seat. Get up.
You know, there's a comedian that said that usually we, as people like to say, I wish they would. And the other group would say, I wish they wouldn't. I'm those I wish they would.
I wish they would.
Oh, if I get there and I don't have a seat, which I responded to, and I'm supposed to sit so I can have my food, get up.
Listen, I don't know what table you're supposed to be at, but it's not supposed to be this one.
This is not it. And please drop that cup. That's mine.
Okay.
I think those who yes, Portia, they're party crashes, and a lot of people have different reasons.
That's disgusting. The cocktail hour, I can't do nothing about that. And you know what? You could dance all night.
Right.
But you don't have a seat here.
Right.
You and your body beat it.
See, the thing about it is, I can't even blame the children. They're not children because they're grown girls.
Right.
I can't blame them because if the mother tell you to come, you come.
But you as an adult,
because you should know better. You know they told you only had 2.
But listen, you're forgetting something.
That was it.
You keep using that line, children or the parent told them. They know enough to be enough to know that you just can't go to a wedding. You're a party crasher. You need to ease in and slide around the side of the dance.
If your parent is telling you, oh, come on in.
Right.
You know,
my mama said I could come.
Telling them where to sit at. Of course, you know the children's gonna follow what you say.
Wait a minute. If they're so adamant like that, then I agree with Allison. Mom and Dad got to get up and go too.
Mom and Dad got to roll. Grab them. All right, and beat it.
Beat it.
Listen,
let me be
the in the wedding. The daddy was in the wedding.
Oh, so his wife.
I would have went to the mother and I would have told her. No, I would have sent my coordinator to the mother and I would have told her.
You know what?
Just for you and your husband.
Girl,
your children.
This is the time that I would have loved to be a coordinator. I love telling people no.
The mother too, along with the children. I would ask them, you have to step outside.
Yeah, everybody got to go.
You just do it quietly. Step outside because you don't want to make a commotion and upset the bride. You don't want to get her all upset.
Dad, you two got to go.
Listen,
Dad, Mom, and those 3 deadbeat kids gotta go.
That is in the wedding.
I would have nicely went over and said, "You have to step outside," and then I'd have said what I had to say while we outside. And
that's nice.
Now, suppose they tell you they're not stepping outside. They're not leaving.
Oh no, they would have stepped outside.
Well, no, that's not happening.
Ain't no doubt about it. They would have stepped outside.
You can either move or be moved. That's the choice.
I like that.
I'm okay with the
because first of all, the mother should know better. You a grown woman. You know you going to somebody's wedding, and you know you was only it's for 2.
You knew better.
There you bring 3 of your children.
When you know
they don't have spots for them.
To react that.
And
3, not 1, to ease in.
3 at that. You didn't even say, "Hey, look."
And I bet you it's those kids that can eat well, that their backs show you that they eat a lot.
Listen,
get your body up and beat it.
Body up. Listen.
Well, I mean, if they had just eaten at the cocktail hour, it wouldn't have been.
And
so
then
bad.
beat it.
So, you know, that's loose food. It's buffet,
right?
So
and it's delicious.
And then you leave.
Right. You know what? The cocktail hour is better than the main course.
And then you leave. You don't come into the main hall because you know that's seated in people's back end and everything. Absolutely. But you know what? If they had some little extra food in there, oh well and good. You eat it. But
you know what? Nowadays, the weddings are portioned too much, and people are really minimizing who they have because the plates are more expensive, and you paying for plate. It's even a problem where you RSVP and don't show up, and now that plate is already accounted for.
Exactly. So maybe they know you pay by the head. And you should know better.
You pay by the head.
That's why I say I don't even blame the girl. I blame the mother because she knew better, trying to be slick. Because when she's standing at the other table, talking about she just standing there looking, that's because she was standing up for them
now,
to sit down.
You witnessed all of this? You know what? I dream of stuff like this.
Oh my God. And I felt bad, for the bride afterwards, because after she saw what was going on, and after she was talking about it, because she realized what was going on.
I would have held my dress in my hand so it doesn't drag the floor. Right. I would have walked right over there and said, "Grandma, Pastor, you and your deadbeat kids get out." And I would have continued my party.
Yep.
I would have handled it.
You got to roll.
Get out.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I don't understand how. I mean, I don't even understand what they could have been thinking about, because you just know you don't do stuff
a freebie.
Like
that's what they were thinking about.
You don't do stuff like that.
You know what it's like when you go to weddings. I went to one wedding at the in Queens, and it was the my cousin had everything on the buffet. It was the best food fest ever. I ate and I ate and I ate and I danced and I ate and I drank and I ate. They were looking, that pastor and his wife and those 3 greedy kids were looking for that.
Yes.
Beat it.
No, it wasn't.
I would have said, drop the cup.
No, it wasn't the pastor. The pastor and the wife didn't have a seat when they got there, because they
the pastor knew what was going on. While he was putting on his tie, he said, let them kids eat. Let them kids eat. Somebody ain't gonna show up.
He didn't know what was going on.
Everybody's a guilty party in that family.
The pastor didn't know what was going on.
The pastor didn't know.
He was just wondering why he don't have a seat. But anyway, you're going to have to be real careful at weddings now to make sure somebody is on the door to see what's going on. But we're going to take a break.
Put me as security. I love telling people, stop.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
Hi, we're back if you're just joining us. So we just finished our hot topic on party crashers coming to the wedding. So be careful now. If you get married and you have your wedding, make sure now you put somebody on the door so you won't have this happening. But we found out that September is insurance month, and I didn't know that. I had never heard of that before. So Dr. Vanessa is going to give us some tips about how we can take our insurance policy and build wealth on it. We always think that if we get a policy just when we die, we'll leave a little bit of money to bury us until I have a family, not knowing that we can use it to start building wealth. So, Dr. Vanessa, you want to give us those tips?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, a lot of people don't know that September is Life Insurance Month. And it's just something that I know that everybody associates life insurance with death. but it's not. That's not all that we use life insurance for. Life insurance can be used as a death benefit, but also be used as a burial, and also used to build generational wealth. And what I say about that is that a lot of people, how the wealthy leverage their wealth with life insurance. And what that means is that they may take out policies for astronomical amount normally when they're younger, when they're more healthy in that sense, and then they'll leave their policy into a trust. And when they trust, when they not if, but when they pass away, they trust becomes the policy become the beneficiary to their trust, and then they'll leverage that money based on how they distribute the funds from that policy. And you know that life insurance policy is really tax-free, and they can take off money. They can take money off the policy. They can buy property. They can build wealth. That because we know property is another way of building wealth. Because we know that one stream of income is hazardous to our wealth. So they learn to maximize the different wealth options along with the tax benefits and how they build wealth and leave it for generations to come. Mm-hmm. But now, since we had COVID, there's a lot of individuals who have had COVID, who may have had COVID, have been hospitalized. There are some unknown, unforeseen long-term consequences of COVID that they have not yet figured out yet, and which can affect the brain, the heart, the lungs. And now a lot of carriers are making a lot of individual potential clients uninsurable. Now, that's one of the things that people are coming to reality, is that now they cannot get insurance, but they did see the highlights of why insurance was important because of all the effects of the people that passed away from COVID during the pandemic.
So Dr. Vanessa, not cutting you off, but so I just want clarification. So that would be only for people that's just taking out a new policy that maybe had been sick or something. So now they decide they're going to go get a policy. This is not for people that already had a policy and something is happening and they don't want, if something would happen and they didn't want to pay out. This is someone who now say, okay, let me go take out some insurance now.
Right, absolutely. Because the policies now, when you're going through the whole underwriting and you're interviewing individual, the prospective client, these are the questions now that are coming with the interview, with the application. Have you had COVID? Have you been exposed to anyone around COVID? Have you been hospitalized? And sometimes people may say, well, I'm just not going to tell them I had COVID. Well, then insurance policies have access to many databases. And if you've been hospitalized or have medication here, they will find out.
Or you tested positive in a PCR. Yeah, they'll definitely get that information.
Well, if you didn't go to the hospital, then you don't have to say anything.
Right, but if
you why not just do that?
Yeah, if you didn't go to the hospital, there's no record of you having COVID. Only people know it.
If you did a home test,
if you did a home test anywhere and there's records that they have to send you, the state has those records if you tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, but if you have a home test and you tested yourself, right, there's no reporting system with that.
Yeah,
but then again, I understand people don't really like to have a conversation with life insurance because they're associated with death only.
Right,
but life insurance also have living benefits as well. Mm-hmm. And people may say, I don't need life insurance. I'm healthy. I'm this. Yeah, you may be healthy now. You're 20s, 30s. But what happens now when you're 50, 60, and 70 and you realize, oh, that's that moment. And, you need life insurance. You put the burden on your family. So I always recommend people get insurance while you're healthy, while you're young, what cases, and because 30% of really like young males under 30 years old uses the disability portion of life insurance because they have high risk takers, right? They have motor vehicle accidents, a lot of gunshot wounds, like that. So they use the disability portion of it. And these are the long-term riders that are associated with these policies. And then you got to be careful. I talk about the long-term care riders because if your doctor say that you can't take like 2 to 3 out of the 10 daily living activity, you can pull from that rider as a living benefit to take care of yourself. Sometimes people have
pensions. Sorry, say that again. If the doctor say what?
Like if your doctor deemed that you can't do 2 of the 2 or 3 out of the 10 daily living activities, you can pull from that from that policy to take care of yourself or have someone take care of you. Most people who have a pension maybe above the poverty line to get subsidized assistance from the city or the government, right? So they won't really be eligible for that. And especially if you have assets, you have to exhaust all that you had before the city gonna give you anything.
Right.
But I would say is that A lot of jobs today are doing away with pensions, and a lot of people are not staying long enough in the job to receive a pension. So I do say for those individuals that are young, entrepreneur, vibrant, and create a pension for life for yourself. 20 is not far from 30. 30 is not far from 40 here and there. And the time is going fast, and we see that, right? So the thing is, how do you think people can get how do you think people can create a death benefit if they don't have a job that's pensionable, or if they're uninsured to get a regular life insurance policy?
Dr. Vanessa, can I ask a question? Sure. I've had a policy since I was 30 when my father had passed, so I just started one. I'm 57 now, and how can I use my policy, just curious, to help my family now? Do I have to just wait?
What do I do? What do you mean to wait?
I don't know. I just want to know, can I use some of my policy, can I do anything with it, or just have to wait till I die?
No, it all depends on the terms and condition of the policy. There's not one policy. There's not one size that fit all. Depending on what individual goals are. People may have a goal where they just want to leave a few dollars. People may have a goal where I just have enough to afford for burial. But people may have a goal where I need to build wealth. I need to build wealth for my kids and my kids' kids and my kids' kids' kids, and so on and so on. So those type of policies, you need to be able to sit down with a financial advisor to create a diversified portfolio for you. And I tell people also, if you have assets less than 100,000, a will may benefit you. But if you have assets more than 100,000, you need a trust. And yes, Cheryl, there is a way to protect your assets. You can protect it with a trust, because there's pros and cons with a will versus a trust in terms of probate and the distribution of it. So that's a whole nother topic. But to answer my question that I asked, I posed that if people are uninsurable and can't get regular life insurance, or they're not staying in a job long enough to get a pension, or they want to just go to entrepreneur's route and don't work for anyone, they need to be able to get an annuity. An annuity is a pension for life. Create an annuity. What case is, because you can pay into something that you can use later on as a pension.
So that is the difference in insurance policies. I understand what they have said this, so you can tell us it's true. If you have whole life insurance, then that's the one that you can go and take money from, borrow money from to use. Like you said, if you want to go get property, or you want to go buy something that you really needed or something like that. Okay. It's the short term that you can't go and take money from.
Well, the thing is, whole life is one of the permanent type of policies versus like term. Term doesn't have a cash accumulation component to it. And it also depends on what your risk tolerance levels is. And then if that policy is in a diversified portfolio like a mutual fund or universal life or variable life policy, there's different types of permanent policies. And that's also going to be based on your individual needs and goals as well. One thing I would say about term policy, they may have some of the chronic riders, but term policies are also not all term insurance policies are convertible. You need to be able to understand what are the convertibility terms and conditions are for that particular policy. And sometimes you may have a policy at term at 20 years old that may be good at 50, but do you need evidence of insurability at age 50 now to convert that policy, and what are the terms and conditions thereof? So
what does diversified portfolio mean?
When you sit down with a financial advisor and they assess your risk tolerance, and that may be based on your age, your income, your assets, in that sense, and it depends on what type of portfolio. It could be mutual funds, it could be variable. It depends on what risk factor you're. If you're young, if you're 20, you're more eligible. You're more capable of taking risks. But if you're 60 and 70, you ain't trying to risk your money out there because you need that money.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah. Right. Well, see, some of them insurance companies, they give you a hard time taking out insurance too, because I told you before they wouldn't give me insurance at one of the companies because they said I was too obese.
I'm not laughing.
It's not that it's just obese. There's other factors that
I told them, I said, are you discriminating against me?
Yeah, that sounds like they're worried about your BMI.
It's not discrimination if it's something that can affect your health, and it's also in conjunction with other health factors. So if you already have, so maybe you would be Right. Maybe you would have been insurable if you just had high blood pressure. But if you have a high blood pressure on top of diabetes, on top of that, you also have your overweight or your BMI is more than it should be for a person of your age, your weight.
And on top of that, you like chicken,
right,
fried chicken.
Right.
They're like, wow, this is too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
They didn't say it had nothing to do with no high blood pressure or anything like that. They said because I was obese.
Don't hang up on that word. You sure they said maybe you're just too sick?
Holding against me because I was fat.
I think they said you're just too sick.
Wait a minute. It's not that you couldn't necessarily get in policy. The thing is, number one, you become a liability. And number two, there's different classes. And are you willing to pay £1 and a crown for that policy when you can put that money in another vehicle and still get the same results?
Right. Right.
You know, so you gotta look at other options.
But I think that Lottie, you lost a lot of weight, Lottie.
I didn't worry about it because I already had insurance policy. I just wanted some extra insurance, you know, just to leave something, you know, for a little more money for my granddaughter or something like that.
Oh,
anything
that's so nice
get now is just extra leaving for her because I got my stuff when I was young. So I've had my stuff like a long time because I know the insurance. They don't want to do anything.
Well, who's gonna get that?
And charge you an arm and a leg just to take out an insurance policy now.
No, it's £1 and a crown.
Forget it.
Yes.
Okay, then. We got to wrap up. So hey, if you need an insurance policy, then get it. Now that we know we can use it to take money from to go buy some property to keep building our wealth.
A generational wealth.
And the young people, get it now while you young. So this way you don't have to spend all of that money getting it unless you do it through your job or whatever.
Yeah, because when you hit a certain age, they're like, you got the gout, high blood pressure, you're obese, which I don't like the word. You have asthma. You might be denied. Those commercials are not for real when they say, "Oh, you can get it you're at 76."
We know that. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Vanessa, for those tips.
Thank you.
And like I said, if you need to get a policy, get it. And remember now, if you're getting married, get somebody at the door. Okay.
Me.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm taking that job.
We'll see y'all next time.
Yes. Good night.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Do you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Stage Watch Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shanna.